Hi guys, Johnny Good here for Real Home Studio. Today taking a look at the Sigma JM-SG45 acoustic guitar. And just before we dive straight in, I want to remind you guys to please like and subscribe, and if you've got something to say, please do drop in the comments box below. Okay, so no prizes for guessing that this is a copy of a Gibson J-45, and what a beautiful copy Sigma have made for a really inexpensive price of just under £500. So I'm used to not actually dropping that much money on acoustic guitars. Typically I've had quite a lot of cheapies in the past, mainly because I'm in and out and gigging, but I kind of thought, look, I'm in my mid-40s now, it's time to drop a bit of money on a nice acoustic. And actually I still didn't want to go into four figures because I knew I'd still wanted an instrument which I felt comfortable to take out and gig, but I want something that felt nice, looked nice, and most importantly sounded great, both for live but also for the studio too. And I've always been a massive fan of the J-45. It's a bit like to what acoustic guitars, it's a bit like what, you know, your Telecasters, your Strats and your Les Pauls are for electric guitars. It's just one of the classics, and it's synonymous with so many great bands and songwriters and acts. It's kind of a bit of a no-brainer, particularly if you're a songwriter too. It's a bit of a workhorse. And the thing I've really noticed, which is really interesting over my other guitars, is that this instrument just wants to be strummed. Really likes flat picking too, but the strumming in particular is really satisfying. It sounds so balanced strummed, and it kind of just wants to play those big fat open chords. It wants to strum Oasis songs and Beatles songs, and again like Paul Weller style songs. Anything that's kind of really rich and strummable, it just sounds really, really nice. This slope-shouldered Dreadnought is such a nice shaped guitar. It's got that rich low end, but it's also balanced as well. It's got a beautiful tone to it. So over to the actual finish of the guitar, and it really is impressive. Sigma have done a great job, considering still this is relatively inexpensive at just under £500. The bindings, beautifully done, no sharp frets, anything like that, and some really lovely tuners as well, Grover tuners, and they're much more the sort of traditional styled Grover tuners. I think they look really lovely. I tried some different sized strings out on this guitar too. 13s I found a bit heavy, 11s I found a bit too light, but the 12s I found just right, and they really seem to zing on this instrument. I'm using some Alexia 12s and they just sound brilliant. Again, the finish is just beautiful. The sound is great. I've heard a video of this compared to the J-45 from Anderton's, I think it was. I'll leave a link above on a card so you can check it out. It falls short of the Gibson J-45 in terms of sound, and you'd kind of expect it to. It's at least a third of the price. But what I would say is it's got all that J-45 flavour. It's got plenty, in fact, more than I was expecting. This has gone above and beyond. I really love this guitar. I should say the neck feels very playable as well. It's quite a chunky neck. I would say it's a grown-up's neck compared to other acoustics I've played. It really makes you work a little bit, but just in a really nice way. It's a really beautiful guitar to play. It's fitted with a Fishman Sonicore pickup, so it doesn't have the pre sort of drilled through the shoulder, which is kind of nice because it doesn't ruin the aesthetics of your acoustic guitar. But relatively limited. You've got a volume and a tone slider dial just inside the sound hole. But, you know, to be honest, that doesn't really bother me. The only sort of niggle with that is that with the Sonicore system, you've got your 9-volt battery tucked in a sort of Velcro sealed bag somewhere up here towards the neck. So if you're in a gig and you had a bit of a battery fail, you'd be in a bit of trouble. So, I mean, I always take a spare guitar with me anyway, but if you're gigging with it, you probably want to switch that battery out every, 15, 20 gigs or so. The input's kind of just nice and discreet as well, I should say. The input's just at the bottom of the guitar there, which I also really like. Another thing worth mentioning, the SG45 doesn't come with this strap button. I had to put this one in myself. So, if you play sitting down, then you're not going to have to worry about the aesthetics being ruined by one strap button put here. But I think it's a bit of a niggle. I would have liked to have seen that fitted. It's a very, very nice guitar. What more can I say? I'm over the moon with this instrument. I think it's absolute beaut. I'm going to make sure I leave you with some more sound examples of the Sigma, both plugged in and unplugged, so you can also take a listen. I hope you enjoyed today's review. If you did, please remember to like, subscribe. Most importantly, have yourself a great day.